Illinois State Treasurer could be holding some of your unclaimed cash. Find out how you can get it.
Then a ruling on Iowa traffic cameras and whether or not they're legal.
WHBF is local for you. This is Local 4 News this morning.
Good Thursday morning, and thanks for watching Local 4 News this morning. I'm James Sears.
And I'm Scarlett. The Illinois State Treasurer is holding $2.5 billion in unclaimed funds. Some of that could be yours.
Local 4 News is local for you by teaming up with the agency to hold a telethon today. Local 4's Brianna Collier joins us in the newsroom to tell us how you can find your unclaimed cash. Good morning, Brianna.
Good morning, James and Emily. Yes, finding unexpected money is always great, especially when you least expect it. That could be anything from a couple $100s to tens of thousands of dollars. During our last telethon last year, we had hundreds of callers. 2 people in which our area found more than $10,000, and 1 person even found out they had $76,000 just waiting to be claimed. Property sometimes goes unclaimed when people move or when a loved one passes away. Illinois Treasurer Michael Frerick says 1 in 4 people who check their database during this telethon discovers unclaimed property.
Our goal is to return the property to its rightful owners. In the Quad Cities area alone, there's about $22.3 million waiting to be claimed by residents of Henry, Mercer, Rock Island, and Whiteside counties.
According to Illinois law, businesses and banks are required to turn those unclaimed assets over to the Treasurer's office after 5 years. That's when the Treasurer tries to find a person it belongs to and return it. Last year, 168 people in the QCA claimed a total of $146,000 during our iCash telethon. From the newsroom, Brianna Collier, Local 4 News this morning.
Brianna, thank you. And the telethon runs today from 4 to 10:30. All you have to do is call. That number is 309-283-4999. And today, the Scott County Board will hold hearings on its upcoming budget. The 2018 fiscal year begins July 1st. The current proposal is $78 million for the annual budget. That's nearly $1 million less than this year's. The county's budget must be submitted to the state of Iowa by March 15th. Today's meeting gets underway at 8 this morning.
Students at Davenport Central High School will have to wait a little longer to use their new auditorium. The school board says several issues are behind this delay. They include incomplete bid paperwork, a strike, and the weather. The school district expected the project to be done by the end of March. That's now been pushed back to early May. Davenport is moving forward with plans to combine some board and commissions and eliminate others.
The first reading of that proposal passed City Council 6-4 at last night's meeting. But as Local 4's Greta Patrick reports, many people were less than thrilled at the decision.
$9,574. People were not happy when Davenport City Council decided to go forward with the mayor's proposal to combine the Levy Commission and the Parks and Rec Advisory Board.
But if we take what has worked for 106 years and gut it, folks, we're going to be in big trouble.
The council amended the proposal, so now the River Center Adler Advisory Board will not be included in the combined board. It'll be decommissioned. But the people were mainly concerned with the Levy Commission. Many people were afraid by decommissioning and combining, the Levy Commission would lose some of its pull over City Council.
This is by design meant to slow things down and give citizens a chance to express their view. It is not meant to be efficient. It is meant to be thorough.
I think the Levy Commission being a check and balance is wonderful because it slows things down.
Mayor Frank Klipsch suggested some ideas to make sure this new board would have that same authority.
I would suggest that we give that group rated to riverfront items supermajority related to oversight by the council.
Ultimately, City Council voted to keep this measure moving forward. Some aldermen support the new combined board because it ensures representation from every ward in the city.
I've also received a lot of positive feedback. People who feel that they want to be a part of that and that every area, every ward throughout the city should have some say in that, should be able to provide some feedback.
This measure still needs to go through 4 more weeks of discussion and 2 more votes before anything is decided. Still, some aldermen say it's getting pushed through too fast. Greta Patrick, Local 4 News.
Thanks, Greta. The Iowa Court of Appeals says traffic cameras are constitutional. The ruling rejects two separate challenges in Cedar Rapids that claim the cameras violate a driver's rights. The attorney who represents clients in both cases says he'll ask for a review from the Iowa Supreme Court. State Senator Brad Zahn has drafted a bill that would make traffic cameras illegal in Iowa. The bill will be considered by the Senate's Transportation Committee.
There's a fight in Illinois on whether kids should be required to take PE classes 5 days a week in school. Some military and health officials tried to push state lawmakers in Springfield to keep those requirements. The Senate's so-called grand bargain on the budget would reduce physical education to 3 days a week. A retired general says that could impact military readiness in the long term. The Department of Defense says nearly a third of 17 to 24-year-olds are ineligible to serve because they are overweight or obese.
Some Quad City girls are proving science and engineering aren't just for boys. About 600 girls from preschool through 7th grade went to St. Ambrose University last night for the 6th annual Introduce a Girl to Engineering program. The girls used their hands to get a better understanding of what engineering is all about.
I learned a lot of cool stuff about science that I never really thought of, that like H2O is two hydrogens and one oxygen, and since it's two hydrogens, they have two for a H, for the H, and it was really cool, and I learned a lot.
The students came from 109 different schools to be a part of last night's program. And what I find when you have programs like this is a lot of times you're not even necessarily introducing these young girls to these topics. A lot of them are already very well versed in them.
That's right. My daughter, she's in a science club at school. It's one of her favorite things. I don't know what they're learning, but she loves it.
Well, there you go. Let's check in with meteorologist Anthony Peoples. He's going to explain how we can go from having record-breaking temperatures to possible snow in just a couple of days.
Yes, some big changes on the way. And too bad we don't have one of those intelligent young ladies here to help explain it this morning, but I'll do my best. Outside right now, we have mostly cloudy skies, especially across eastern Iowa, and the clouds are increasing. We have 45 degrees right now in Moline and 43 in Davenport. Those temperatures are well above average for late February. While we won't be seeing record heat today, it'll still be very warm. 7-mile visibility right now in Galesburg, in Burlington, and in Clinton. Remember, yesterday morning we had visibilities down to near zero in several hometowns. There's the increasing clouds beginning to move in. And as we go through the day today, kids heading off to school this morning will have patchy fog and becoming mostly cloudy. Temperatures in the low to mid 40s, and by afternoon light rain will be developing as we head through the day, but 55 for the high, still above average but not a record. So what's going to happen is we're going to get a storm system that's going to fire up over the plains. It's going to bring blizzard conditions to parts of Iowa and Minnesota, and ahead of it maybe some strong thunderstorms for parts of the Midwest. And then when the cold front passes through, that's the cold air that will be bringing us some snow. So that's the soundbite version of what's going to happen. We'll explain it in full detail in your full forecast.
Well, I know it's been pretty dry, so are we getting in a good amount here? Are you expecting that?
Well, you know, if we get a thunderstorm or two across the area, we'll have higher amounts. But even if we just have a general shower activity, we'll see maybe a ½ inch to an inch. So this would be a nice little soaker, and it's a good thing that the ground is warm enough that it will soak into the ground.
A wild weather week it's been.
It's been very interesting over the past 7 days.
Yes, thank you so much.
Can't make it to New Orleans? How about a Marty Paws party with the Humane Society?
Plus our pet of the week after the break.
Now, I've been wanting a pug as my new pet, but I'm in love with this one here. We'll introduce you next. You're watching Local 4 News this morning. It's 6:09.
WHBF is local for you with James Sears, Emily Scarlett, and meteorologist Anthony Peoples. This is Local 4 News this morning in high definition.